That's
And
fair.
the only reason y'all think that this is not a problem is because there's a bunch of broke niggas sitting around here with no money. It's a bunch of broke niggas sitting around here with a bunch of broke niggas sitting around here with no money that don't think that they're victims because they get to live a type of lifestyle that they fantasize about. I wish I could sleep with Draya Michelle. I wish I could be with a Mariah Mills. So because you fantasize about being with these type of women, you don't see them as victims because they getting to do something that you wish you could do. I wish I had 200 million.
How do you land
I
on
wish
this?
I was knocking down Draya.
How do you no, seriously.
I wish I was knocking down Draya. I wish I was doing it. So you don't see them as victims. You like, oh, they old enough to make them type of decisions.
How are they not?
Enough.
They're consenting
they old
adults.
enough to know better.
If you
come on, bro,
they are consenting adults.
There's always that small group of people like you who, wish they could sleep with somebody like Draya that just say this.
Just to be clear, I don't have that wish. I don't have that wish.
Yo, welcome to the cave with Mel, Troy, and Lex. The podcast with men that have a safe space. We on all platforms. You need to tune in, hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Welcome to Melody, the podcast with men that have a safe space. Welcome to Melody. Welcome to the cave with Mel, Troy, and Lex.
I'm ready. Hey, you know what's going on, man? It's your boy Melly Mel, a.k.a. Melly Badass, a.k.a. Meek Mel, a.k.a. your favorite truth teller, a.k.a. if you don't want to know, don't ask me. I'm back in the house, man. What's going on, man?
What's going on? It's your boy T. Roy, a.k.a. your neighborhood hope dealer, a.k.a. if you need some hope, I got some you could borrow. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow.
Glad you knocked that out.
I did.
Yeah, because that's what's up. Yeah, slow clap. Slow clap. Slow clap. What it do, though? It's your boy Dr. Life Coach Lace, a.k.a. NBA Old Boy, a.k.a. the newly appointed Councilman Tate.
Hey.
We are on for another episode, and we back. Let's get it.
Who's Councilman Tate?
You don't watch Power.
Don't watch Power.
He
I
don't
don't.
know.
Get him out of here.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
don't know.
I watched
outta
the first
here.
episode. 6 people died in the first 6 seconds, and I was like, you know what? I probably don't need to be watching this before I go to sleep.
I feel that.
But you watch everything else, though.
I do, man.
Which is crazy.
I do. All the cartoons I be watching, they bloody as all get out. Rick and Morty's crazy. Shout out R.I.P. to my man Kura Toriyama.
Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z.
I saw that.
I knew he was going to do that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
knew he was going to do that.
Yeah. Shout out to him, man. He I remember back in the day coming home from school, DDT and my cousin Eric in the, on the ground, and then we would stop wrestling just to watch Dragon Ball Z, and that was a part of the childhood. Oh man, talk about childhoods going away. Sting retired. Now I don't know if y'all wrestlers or not.
Well, I used to be. I haven't
Right,
watched
I
wrestling
mean,
in ages.
it's
So
real.
I can't-
I
would have never known he retired. I thought he did retire.
He hadn't retired
As
before.
far as I'm concerned, he retired when I stopped watching wrestling.
Yeah, so Sting retired at the age of 60.
Oh, word.
What was he, a front office man? Or
Yeah,
No,
he's
he was
still
wrestling.
He was wrestling.
He was jumping off ladders, bro. A ladder in the ring, outside of the ring. He's jumping still.
No.
Oh, wow.
But he
I thought he retired NWA.
Me too.
I mean, NWO. That's what I thought he was done then.
his last match, his son, he came out as, current Sting. His son came out as the original Sting. Remember, like he had the buzz cut.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then his youngest son came out as Wolfpack NWO Sting. That joint was fire. And they was all in the ring wrestling together. So that was amazing, man.
That was fire.
Our childhood is gone, bro.
Was that on the pay-per-view this past week? Was that on the pay-per-view this past week?
WrestleMania.
Was that on the pay-per-view this past week? I know they had a pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
And they did it in Greensboro too, bro. I'm mad.
Did they for real?
Yeah. I could have went.
Why you ain't go?
By the time I realized the tickets was like $250 for some good seats, and I was like, I ain't got it right now.
Gotcha.
Cool.
I feel that.
I ain't mad at that.
Childhood gone, man. I turned 40.
That's what it is. Over the hill. Over the hill.
Hey, you got to clap for that, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I clap for that. And it was a lot of build up leading up to turning 40.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But now that I am 40, it's like, all right, I'm here. So
Why was it build up?
We ball.
because it's why was it build up? I think because a lot of people celebrate these big monumental ages that they reach. And so I was seeing other people turn 40 and being excited. I was like, I should be excited too. And I was. And I still am. And now that I'm 40, it's like, all right, I'm 40. Let me get into my 40-year-old bag now. You know
What is
What
it?
is
What
out?
is, what
Come
does a
on,
40-year-old
Lace.
bag
You already
look
know
like?
what I was about to ask.
What does that look like?
I got to go to the next level, bro.
Okay.
We talked about this. I've been feeling stuck.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like I'm 40. I can't be like I can't. I can't. I don't. Now that I'm 40, I got to put away the 30-year-old things. You know what I'm saying? And in order to get to the next level, I got to push myself.
Okay.
And so I can announce to everyone here that I just got accepted into my doctoral program.
That's
Okay.
what's up. Okay.
All right, T Dot,
Okay. Future Dr.
Dr.
Troy.
T Dot,
It's future Dr.
Dr.
Troy.
Lovelace,
That's what's
Dr.
up.
T
You know
Dot.
what I mean? You know what I mean?
Let me tell you who ain't
I
going
will
back to
say though,
school
it's probably-
or who ain't doing no doctoral program.
It was probably my recommendation letter that got you over the hump.
Lace, first of all, your recommendation letter was a day late.
How was it a day late?
That's,
a whole day
that's
late.
actually on brand though.
So
for
let me
Lace,
tell
so.
you this. Let me tell you this.
They sent me the email and I replied.
Lace. All right, so I sent you that joint the day that I put my application in.
Right, I
which
did
was
like
back
the
in
next day.
January. That was the second email that I sent you because you didn't do it the first time that I sent it to you.
I thought it was the first. My
No.
bad. Hey,
So
my
I
bad.
only need 3 recommendations. So I asked 3 people, and I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and ask 2 more people on top of that. So I had 5 people.
That was smart though.
Yeah, it was smart because 4 of the 5 did theirs on time,
And Lace was late.
and Lace was late.
It's no way I was late. I refuse to accept that. It's no way I was late. Cause I went in, I knocked it out.
You did knock it out.
You know
when
what I'm
I sent
saying?
you the reminder. Yes,
No, what I'm saying is they sent me an email and I responded to that.
yes. I triggered the email to be sent to you because it's automated.
That's crazy. I know I
So
sent that
Lace
thing
was
on
day
time.
late.
He was a day
And
late.
then he used ChatGPT to write your recommendation.
Damn
letter,
sure
so-
did.
Hey.
And did.
Hey, you know
And
what?
did.
I ain't mad at him because ChatGPT
And did.
ChatGPT be on point sometimes, bro. It be on point.
And did.
Yo.
It be on point. So yeah, man. And so so I got into the program, and so this is a year of Troy pushing his limits. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't. I was just talking to a friend this past weekend, and one of the things is he was talking about investing. He was like, sometimes you gotta challenge, you gotta take risk in order to get big rewards. And I said, you know what? I'm glad you told me that because I've been staying more so in the middle of the lane because it's comfortable there. You know what I'm saying? Little risk, little rewards. You know what I'm saying? But I don't risk much. And so it's just like, but if I want big rewards, I got to push myself. So how can I push myself?
Yeah.
And so I feel as though like, this next level is going to be push me to be a better Troy, to achieve higher heights and things like that. So
That's what's up. Well, congratulations on that, on starting that journey.
T-Dot keeping it in the pocket.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what it
man.
is.
Everybody busy, man.
Yeah.
Everybody got stuff
Yeah.
going on. But that's good for you because I know that was something important. You talked to us about that in the group chat. So I'm glad that worked out for you, man. At
Glad
least
you
that-
took the step.
I know that
Yes,
my
sir.
prayers making it past the ceiling these days. So, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
And I do want to give y'all a shout out too, give y'all flowers. Lace, you have the degree that I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
So, when I saw you had it, I was like, if he can get it, I know I can.
That's
Hey,
a fact.
I don't know if I should take.
That's a
Hey,
fact.
I don't know if I should
That's a fact.
square up off that, or if I should take it as a compliment.
That is
'Cause
a fact,
It
T-Dot.
sounds real square up, like you know what I'm saying.
But but for real, I see how you're able to move and shake. You know what I'm saying? In the arenas that you're able to, do things like, and it has helped you professionally. So I'm like, hey, I want to do that. And for Mel has lived the Jobish type life. If you know what I'm saying, in the sense that it seems like it's very turmoilish, but I feel as though, and I ain't trying to get prophetic on our first episode back.
Right.
But I feel as though that's part of the much risk, much gain type of thing. So and so I've seen you push. So I was like, hey, I need to push myself too.
That's what's
And
up.
so
That's what's up.
So we leveling up. 40 level up.
That's what's
level
up.
up.
Never too old to level up, man.
Well, I still got a few more years in the tank, so I'll let y'all tell me how 40 is.
Uh-huh.
So that way, by the time I get there, I know what I need to be doing. So I'll let y'all try it out first. I'll live vicariously through you.
That's what it is. That's
what's up.
Okay.
Hey, it's been a minute though.
Yeah,
it's been a
minute.
while. It's been a while. I'm sure y'all know.
Took a little sabbatical,
you know
but we back.
We been quiet. We back. High energy, all that going
Yeah.
on. You know?
Yes, sir.
So, catch up. Then we'll get into these topics. But I don't know where you want to take it.
Where you been?
I mean, I've been
around. You've been out of town.
I have been out of town.
He has
a
been
lot.
out of town.
I have been out of town a lot this year. I told y'all I was gonna be outside. Y'all thought I was joking. Back when we started the year.
You
Right.
did say that.
Back when we started the year, I said I was gonna be outside. So pretty much how I've been taking is if somebody invite me somewhere, I just say yes.
You out there.
I just
Yes.
say I'm coming. So
Yeah.
that's how I've been. I've been outside. Where'd I go? Ohio. I went for my grandmother's 85th birthday.
Okay.
Grandmother turned 85. And then I went to Gary at the beginning of this month because my dad's mom turned 80. So
Bet.
I've
Okay.
been busy, man. Been out
Going
here
to see
moving,
the
shaking.
eldest.
Yeah. Had to hit the Midwest. That was a big deal, especially for my grandma. 85 obviously is a great milestone. My dad's mom turned 80. Not to
Okay.
shed more light on her than my other grandmother, but it was just a little bit more important for her because I learned at her birthday party that she never had a birthday party before.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, in her 80 years of life, no one ever threw her a birthday party. She was never like celebrated in that way.
Mhm.
And as she's getting up in age, my dad thought it would be important for her to kind of
That's
get
what's up.
her roses now and see how that felt. So
Is
that was
she-
the first time.
Did she come from a big family?
Yeah, she got siblings, man. It's 5 of them. So
That makes sense, then.
she's 80. So I guess no one ever just thought to do it.
Yeah.
It's not a big thing. Like when I was young, I don't remember having a lot of birthday parties either.
Yeah,
Like I had a
it's
couple.
not- I
It
mean,
just
yeah,
wasn't a thing. But to go 80 years and never be celebrated like that in that way was big for her. And I never seen my grandmother cry in 80 years of my life. She's always cool, laid back, whatever.
Mhm.
And when she walked into her surprise party and saw her people, and then she saw me and my dad and my other siblings that came, she just started. She couldn't,
That's
hold
what's
it in
up.
or whatever. So it was
That's what's
straight.
up,
I was glad
man.
I made it.
That's what's up.
Glad I
man.
made it. But I'm back. I'm back this way. I'm outside. So if you trying to rock, let me know. Get my outfit or whatever. I'm out.
I knew things was going well because he went on the trip and he took the family and they drove and we
Yeah.
ain't get no text talking about some. Hey man, tell me how you supposed to.
Well, see, I learned from that. I started, following after y'all. I've become very apathetic about certain things in my life, and I
Yeah.
just don't care no more.
Hey,
So
you gotta. Hey,
Wait,
it's gonna
wait.
be what it's
be
gonna
like
be.
that.
We're not telling you not to care.
absolutely. You can't
That's
care about certain things.
you got
You
it.
can't
You
care
got
about-
to. So certain things I don't
just
care.
aren't that. It ain't that deep.
Yeah.
It is
That
what
is
it
true. That is
Just
true.
let
And
it
I have
ride.
been taking that approach to life this
Yeah.
year, and it's been helping me quite a bit. So
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up.
That's what's up.
That's
Yeah.
what's up. That's what's up.
What about you, Lace?
Man, Lace is back on. We took a sabbatical, man. Had some things going on, but we back in the cave with the fellas. Life is good. Really about to start exploring some entrepreneurial ventures.
Hey, yo.
So that is the motivation as it stands right now. Be on the lookout for the Level Up with Dr. Lovelace podcast.
Come
You
on
know what
now.
I'm saying? So if you are middle management, executive level management, be on the lookout for some things coming LinkedIn, those kind of things. But relaunching, rebranding in that way. Just living life, enjoying it, man. Taking it for what it brings and rolling with it. Riding the wave, as we say. Riding the wave.
Do we get free membership to like?
No, you do not. No, you do not. So, and now that you in your doc program, you're gonna need some of this insight.
I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah. So we rolling, man. We rolling.
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. I'll definitely sign up for it. See what the paper talking about. You feel me?
Yeah. So, but other than that, obviously, tapping in with the fam and really taking some time to go visit my folks and all that kind of thing. Busy with frat life, all that kind of thing. So yeah, we rocking and rolling, man. All is well. All is well.
Y'all ready to talk about these topics?
Let's get it.
let's get into it.
Dude, there's a lot of stuff going on.
A lot going on. A lot going on around
One of the
us.
biggest things that just hit our news, our timeline is first of all, we want to shout out to my man Jalen Green of the Houston Rockets.
Yeah,
right?
Houston Rockets. Yeah.
He is expecting a child
Okay.
with one of the industry's well-known Draya Michelle.
All right.
And this kind of goes in. The reason why this is a topic is because Jalen Green is expecting a child at a young age of 22.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Draya, however, his future baby mama, is 39.
Okay. That's what's up.
Draya also has a reputation of being around a lot of celebrities.
Yeah.
And so seems like she finally wanted to settle with one.
Mm-hmm.
Is that appropriate to say?
Hey, we'll ride with it.
What do you mean by appropriate?
We'll ride with it.
I say, is it appropriate because they've been getting a lot of backlash, specifically coming back from my man played for the New Orleans Zion Williams, specifically after him. You know what I'm saying? We had a conversation at that time that there's a lot of people that women specifically that surround themselves around athletes, and they appear to be being predators on them because they see it as a bag to have. But one of the things that you mentioned in the chat is that Draya was already straight though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, she have another child by a cat that was in the NFL?
No, she just dated him for.
She dated him. Got you.
She just dated him for a little while.
Got you.
Our only child is about the same age as Jalen Green.
Yeah, I knew. Yeah, that's right.
She got a kid that's 22 years old.
They about right around that age. They're like close in age. They're very close in age.
Now that's problematic.
They're very close in age.
Why? Why is that problematic?
Dating somebody the same age as your child?
I don't see a problem with it. To be quite honest with you, I don't see a problem with it.
I was just talking with one of my homeboys this past weekend who was dating older.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, it's a dude I went to school with. I graduated high school with. He is graduating our 6th grade teacher, which is a big age gap, probably about the same, about 20 years.
Say that again. He's dating your 6th grade teacher.
He is dating our 6th grade teacher. So who was teaching us in 6th grade? Okay. He graduated. A couple years later, they dating.
So he 40 though.
He 40 though.
And how old is she?
60?
She about 60, 65.
That ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
Hey, what's wrong with that?
40 years old. At 40 years old, you can do what you want.
Why you can't do what you want at a younger age?
I don't care. As you get older, certain things just become less relevant. Like age gap becomes less relevant as you get older. Like once you get to a certain point, people don't care. Like if you're 30 years old, you date somebody that's 40, don't nobody care. But if you was 30 and you had a 20-year-old girlfriend or boyfriend, people had something to say about it. The older you get, the less relevant the age gap becomes.
I think that's just generally different. I think gender wise, it's viewed differently. Because most of the times when it's a young guy dating an older woman, he don't get a lot of flack behind it. But it's generally when it's reversed that you hear, well, why is this, why is that, or what?
Yeah, he doesn't get a lot of flack for it because it doesn't happen often. And that's why they don't get a lot of
maybe
flack.
It's happening more often in this day and age
it's happening
now
more
compared
often
to when
this
we were
day
younger.
and age if you have a certain social status or a level of financial security.
To an extent.
So, yes.
To an extent.
So are we gonna talk about it or
let's talk?
I just want to know.
Again,
I just want to know.
Back to the question at hand.
Talking about it.
I don't have an issue with the age gap in any way, shape, form, or fashion. He like older women. Nothing wrong with that.
He don't like older women.
It's a lot of individuals who like older women.
He like Draya Michelle. He don't like.
It's
older
nothing wrong.
Women.
What I'm saying, is she not an older woman?
He messing with her for the same reason that a lot of guys would.
Again, I can't attest to that. I've never experienced that. I do not know. What I'm saying is, at the end of the day, he's with her. Mm-hmm. They're having a child. Beautiful thing. Whatever. Now, I think where you're going with it is it's amazing to me how it's always one particular group that is always involved with athletes. And I think that's the route that you're probably going to take it. So take it away.
No, I'm just saying, like, okay, the age gap is a big deal. I tried to tell y'all last year, I'm glad y'all finally catching up. I keep trying to tell y'all I'm a visionary and I'm ahead of my time. Y'all gonna learn one day. I told y'all this last year when the Zion thing happened. Half the world told me I was crazy. Y'all told me I was nutty. Y'all said I was doing too much. Y'all said that Zion was a grown man. He should have known better for messing with Mariah Mills, blah, blah, blah. I said he ain't old enough to be making them type of decisions no matter how much money, no matter how much money you got, we all know that there's a level of maturity that comes as you age. And there are certain women who have lived longer. They have more exposure. They have more experience. They know how to do certain things in your direction to manipulate you and to put you in a certain situation or relationship situation that benefits them and it does not benefit you. And some of them have more experience with that. And when you 22 years old, you not privy to all the games, all the tricks of the trade that they use, the amount of research and time they spend to set you up and do all that other type of stuff. You have no idea about what they're doing. And y'all look at it like, and the only reason y'all think that this is not a problem is because there's a bunch of broke niggas sitting around here with no money. It's a bunch of broke niggas niggas sitting
I
around
don't
here
think
with
that's
it's
fair.
a bunch of broke niggas sitting around here with no money that don't think that they're victims because they get to live a type of lifestyle that they fantasize about. I wish I could sleep with Draya Michelle. I wish I could be with a Mariah Mills. So because you fantasize about being with these type of women, you don't see them as victims because they getting to do something that you wish you could do. I wish I had 200 million.
How do you land
I
on
wish I
this?
was knocking down Draya.
How do you land? No, seriously.
I wish I was knocking down
So-
Draya. I wish I was doing this. So you don't see them as victims. You like, oh, they old enough to make them type of decisions.
How are they
old
not?
enough-
They're consenting
they old
adults.
enough to know better.
If you
Come on, bro.
they are consenting
Come
adults.
on, bro.
They are consenting adults. How can you say you not old? What
Come on,
you
bro.
supposed to get a blueprint saying those? If you date somebody from 35 to 40, these are the games that they go play.
It's not about 35 to 40. It's a certain type. We just talked about it's a certain type
So
of
that's what I'm
of
saying.
woman.
Right, but what I'm saying is plenty of those types out here. What I'm speaking to is the fact that it is the same ones that are being chosen in certain ways.
Yeah.
That's more so what I'm talking about. I mean, as far as the blueprint of them getting set up, these are grown men making grown
They're
decisions.
not that grown, bro.
They are.
And y'all be saying grown. We always call somebody grown. Just
Did you
because
not
when
think
we
you was
just-
grown at 22?
Think I was grown and was I grown?
Did you
is
act
two
grown?
different,
Did you act
two
grown?
different
Did
things.
you act grown at
I've been
22?
acting grown for a long time.
Okay, then. So what the hell are you talking about?
I said I've been acting grown for a long time. That don't mean I was grown. And in that process of me acting grown, thinking that I knew everything,
Right.
obviously there were some failures that I had, some trials and tribulations that I had to go through, thinking that I was something that I was
But
not.
riddle
And
me
ain't
this.
nobody grown at 22, my nigga.
Riddle me this. Is that not life?
What you mean is that not life?
Is that not life? You go through it, you learn from it, you bounce back, and you adjust, you pivot. That is everybody goes through that
We
journey
losing
in
sight
life
of
in
this-
some
We
capacity.
losing sight of this conversation.
We're not though.
We are
I'm
because
just
you
getting
like,
to the
is
core
that not
of
life?
it.
That's not
That
the
is
core.
life.
That's not the core,
That
bro.
is life.
Okay, that's a
So let me
that
ask
is
you
a
this.
part of life.
Let me ask you this. Back in your past, did you mess with some Jones that might have been older, might have been younger, whatever? It didn't work out, and you was like, "Yo, why? How did I even find myself in that situation?"
Most of the women that I mess with have been older than me.
So
in
what I'm
general.
saying, so after that dissolved, did you not reflect and was like, "Dang, I learned this, that, and the third from it"?
From the relationship, but not about a certain age of woman though.
I'm
It
not
was
talking about age. Age out the window. I'm
Okay,
not
but you
talking
said
about
older
age.
women.
I'm saying I said older or younger. What I'm saying is it's the journey. You've learned
Okay,
something
yeah.
from it.
From
Good,
the
bad,
journey,
or
yes.
indifferent.
Good, bad, or indifferent. Yes, I've learned.
So what
something
I'm
from
saying
it.
is this is a part of that young man's journey. He just happened to bag
ain't
one,
lying.
bag one that we
Okay.
that is known.
Okay,
That's
bag
all
one,
I'm saying.
Bag one that is known in his age bracket, or whatever. That's totally different than someone who's 20 years older than him. 20 years older than him. And
You
been
sound
around.
ridiculous.
How do I sound ridiculous?
Because you do, bruh. You do.
You said I sounded ridiculous
You're-
last year.
you're-
All y'all said I sounded ridiculous last year.
You
about
did sound
Zion.
ridiculous in certain aspects last
No,
year.
because I
stand
made
by it.
perfect
I
sense.
stand by
and
it.
then this year, as soon as this
Stop.
Draya thing
That's
happened,
my thing.
No, this my
That's-
thing. That's my thing. Because points are being made, okay, and I'm walking the table.
No, I'm walking you down, okay? That's what we not gonna do.
Because y'all said I was crazy last year, and then this year, as soon as she announced that news, and she did it on International Women's Day because she thought she was gonna get a lot of love for that. Let's
I
start
did not
with
catch
that.
I did not
She
either.
dropped it on International
I did
Women's
not.
Day, and that was like her lead into her announcement. It's
Okay.
International Women's Day. I just wanted to.
Okay.
She posted that, thinking that it was going to be this supportive
Yeah, yeah.
type of situation. Immediately, everyone called her.
So
Predator.
was it more backlash from women than men? or-
Everybody.
I don't.
It's
I-
been
I don't know.
everybody.
I
It's
don't
been
know.
men. It's been women, and of course, there's always that small group of people like you who wish they could sleep with somebody like Draya that just say this. This guy's not a victim.
Just to be clear,
This
I don't
not a
have that
victim.
wish. I don't have that
They
wish.
gonna say this. He's not a victim. He's a grown man.
I
He
don't
da-
like
da- da- da-
have that
I
wish.
don't like how you put that on somebody.
You see what I'm saying?
No, because that's the truth.
No, I don't. Who has? I
I'm
don't
not
have
saying
that
it's
wish.
you. I'm not saying you
You
specifically.
said
like
men
me.
like
like
him.
you because they're using your talking points. It's gonna be a bunch of that watch this. That's gonna be like, yeah, Lace telling the truth, and
Because I am telling the truth.
And then last year when this situation happened, and we posted that joint, and all the comments was people like you in that small group. Oh, he a grown man. He getting to sleep with Mariah Mills. He got millions of
I
dollars. He ain't no
understand that.
victim. He did it.
You are-
And that's how they using it.
Hear me out. Hear me out. You are correct. There is a subset of individuals who would love that opportunity to engage with said
So
individual.
then they don't see you as a victim because you getting to do something that
I
they
can't get into
fantasize
all
about.
of that. That is definitely some people fantasize in those ways. Whatever. I'm saying at the core of it, this young man is a grown man per law, per decision making skill set. If he chooses to be with her, regardless of her history, etc., then that's his decision.
But I
choosing
think
something choosing something and being manipulated by
How do
somebody.
you know he's
and
being
you making-
manipulated though? That's my point.
But I think what to Mel's point though, What he's saying is this is going to be a continuous cycle that we're going to see going on. We're going to see.
It happens all the time.
I know it happens all the time.
But
we do see it specifically with our athletes.
Sure.
And so the next question is, how often do those situations turn out to be good situations? We literally,
for the woman, they're amazing.
yes.
For the guy, they're terrible.
Right. And that's
terrible.
That,
and we know they're terrible.
If
he's a grown man though. Okay.
He is though.
I'm not trying to.
Choices and decisions are free.
Choices
that don't
and
got
decisions
nothing to
are
do.
free.
Choices and
that don't got
decisions are
nothing
free. He decided to get with her in whatever capacity. That was his choice and decision. Now this is a benefit or a hindrance from that decision.
Oh, it's gonna be a hindrance.
So at the end of the day, it is what it is.
Oh, it's gonna be a hindrance.
Okay, so let's look at it on the flip side. Okay, so we're looking at the young guy, older woman. What about the older man, younger woman? Specifically,
Oh yeah, Al Pacino.
yes.
Yeah. Not Al Pacino.
Robert De Niro.
but Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro,
Same person to me.
80 years old,
Right.
baby mama, 45.
I told you, as you get older, the age gap becomes less relevant. A 45-year-old person.
Like walking hypocrisy.
It's
right
not
here.
walking hypocrisy.
It
A
is,
45-year-old individual making a decision about their life and a 22-year-old person making a long-term decision about their life are two totally different things, man.
I understand that.
And
there's
you know
different-
that. You know that. I know that. You got way more wisdom at 40 years old than you had at 16 years old giving out Pizza Hut meat.
And that's why I said. That's why I said at the beginning. Is that not life? Of course, the longer you live, the more wisdom you will hopefully acquire.
Okay, so what I'm saying is there are people who are 40 years old that are taking advantage of the lack of wisdom that a 22-year-old has, and you're trying to use it as they're gonna learn their lesson. That's part of life to fall in your face. That's
It is
part
a
so
part
you're
of
willing
life.
to hold the 22-year-old accountable for their choices, actions, and decisions, but you're not gonna hold a 40-year-old accountable for what they're doing to a 22-year-old. Because let's be honest, let's be honest, that person would not be attracted to this young man if he was not set to be a max player in a year or two. This nigga gonna be $300 million
the
worthy.
blueprint was laid out like that.
I mean,
I'm
Michelle.
asking.
I'm using your whole name by accident. Look,
I mean,
let's be realistic.
I'm asking.
Be realistic. On any given day,
Yeah.
I would be more with you. So I'm gonna paint this picture.
Mm-hmm.
On any given day, is a 30-plus-year-old woman looking at a 22-year-old man
Absolutely.
as a valuable option for a relationship?
Sure.
You a lying ass.
I'm not. I'm dead serious.
Lace.
Sure. Why not?
They are not.
What I'm saying is,
They are not
age
doing
has
that.
nothing to do with
It
maturity
does.
level. No, it doesn't.
It does.
You can be very mature at a certain age.
Age does play a role in that, bro.
It's one of the
Age and experience.
Is another
What I'm
one.
saying
Age
is,
and
though,
experience.
What I'm saying, and that's what I'm saying. If you have certain experiences, you can have experiences young that certain old people don't have, older people don't have, or vice versa. So what I'm saying is, it's a compilation of things. So he could be a very mature 22-year-old. We don't know these niggas
Lace.
at all.
Well, you going away from you doing your Councilman Tate. You're doing your Councilman Tate, and you're trying to take away from the actual point of this conversation, and the fact of this being predatory because of the situation. He's not no regular run-of-the-mill 22-year-old.
I'm not saying that he is.
Okay, so do you think that his status, his financial abilities, etc., played any role in Draya wanting to talk to this person?
I think that would play in any role with anyone.
Do you think that played a role in her wanting to talk to this person?
That would play a role with anyone.
If he was not about to be a $300 million person,
that would play a role
would
with
she
anyone.
be talking to him? Would she want to have a child with this man?
Knowing
Yes or no?
the type of individuals that I've seen her engage with, likely not. But what I'm saying
Okay, then.
is, no, that's not the end of what I was saying. What I'm saying is, that comes into play with anybody. If you were out here 40, whatever, and you were on the market, you would consider those same factors as if you were considering dating somebody younger, right or wrong.
What?
You would look at their status, what they bring to the table financially.
No.
That's not
I
true.
don't. Men
not
don't
true.
pick women like that.
Yes.
We do not pick women like that.
Okay.
We don't.
We don't.
Well-
you sit here trying to act like we
okay.
sit around picking
Men-
women like we don't pick. We don't
Men-
sit back and assess a woman's
Men-
tangible.
Then maybe that's the problem.
What you talking about?
Maybe that's the problem.
That's not what we start. That's additive stuff later on. That's not what we start. You know, we start with how they look.
That's what I'm saying.
Do they look good to me?
Yes, start with the
Then we
looks.
start talking to them. What's the vibe like? Is the mind good? All that other type of stuff. We start with those first. How do we click when we hang out with each other? Is there chemistry? Then we look at that other stuff. The other stuff is icing. the type of job she got, if she got any of that other type of stuff. But that's not foundational. They're looking at those
And
other
what I'm
things
saying
as
is
foundational.
that is the problem. If we're not looking at those
No,
things,
that's not the problem.
It is. If we're not looking at those things from the foundation, then you can find yourself in particular situations like this, where now you go have at least 18 years of dealing with this individual and you know nothing about their foundational piece. That's what I'm saying. So you call it icing on the cake. I call it the ingredients to make the cake, my guy.
We should.
So that's what
we should. Now, what he's saying is right. We should have that mentality, but to his point, we don't have that mentality.
No, I'm saying we shouldn't have it because all that is what I'm saying. The first three things I named are more important than the other stuff that you just named. After the fact.
Sway. How?
For good. He's not lying.
The first three things I named are more important than the list of stuff that you just gave.
And energy.
What?
Looks, vibe, and energy.
I said look
I don't
first.
think you said
Looks,
energy.
mental. We talked about conversation. Is her mind right?
Okay,
all
vibe,
that type of stuff.
Vibe.
And then chemistry. Do we fit well together? Do we
Sure.
complement each other? Those three things are more important than what type of job somebody got.
I'm
how
not
much
talking
money they
about
got.
job.
Do they got a car? Do
See,
they got?
I'm not talking.
But
about
that's
the
what
type
you're
of
talking
job.
about. All those other things. If you're
What
talking
I'm
about the
saying
tangible
is,
stuff.
For me. I'm just speaking for me. Those things matter, even in that catching the vibe phase or whatever. So you talk about mental. For me, that would be incorporated in the mental piece. Job, not necessarily, but foundationally, level what they believe in. Are they go-getters? Are you out here getting it? That's what I
Looks in
Did I
mind.
just not say
Okay,
that?
but we're not talking about that. You
Did
was
I
talking
not
about
say
money.
that?
You was talking about money earlier.
No,
Status.
no.
Do she have status? Is her
Yeah,
And
that's
I said
what you
all of
said.
that. I said all of that is compounded into where her mental is at. That's what I'm saying.
You were saying that what value does she bring to me is what we should be looking at.
It should be an aspect of it, absolutely.
But what Mel
because
is
vibes change.
But what Mel is
Looks
saying,
change.
but what Mel is saying, we don't look at value in
That's
those
a lot
areas.
of people don't. A lot
of people don't. You know, they look at the looks, they look at the mental. Do we have chemistry?
Sure, I get that.
I'm not saying we don't consider those other items. I'm saying they're not primary drivers for how men
They're
select
not-
the
they're
woman
not.
that they want to be with. They're secondary. They do come up, but they're
Well, at least
we don't never look across the room and be like, "Dang, yo, she got her 401k must be
Amazing.
Well, I will.
we
See, I
we
get
ain't
off
doing
on that. I get off on
We not-
that.
yeah, you 40.
okay. So I
You
think
40.
I think that's a good point. So specifically at that young age of 22, looks is probably the biggest thing. Status. Does your name ring bells? You know what I'm saying? In different rooms. I think that's what they look at that age. Now, as we grow older, wisdom, experience, all that type of stuff, then we look at, all right, what does she have to offer other than a piece of tail?
See,
you know what I'm saying?
I've never been that type. Legit, I've never been that type. On some serious, I'm being honest, transparent, honest. Looks and all that stuff is cool, but I've never liked the one that always got the attention. You know what I'm saying? That's never been my thing. So yeah.
Yeah, we didn't say that.
But the way you kicking it is like, from what Troy just said, was just like this names ring bells and all that type of mess. Like, nah, that ain't.
There are a bunch of guys who are like that though.
Oh, no, I agree.
A bunch
Yeah,
of
for
guys
sure.
that want to be with the woman that
a lot of women
everybody
like
want,
that too.
that everybody want and can't have. So you
Yeah.
want to be the guy with the girl that everybody want.
Right, I'm good on that.
And specifically, the Instagram model is the type that these young cats is going for nowadays.
That's their vibe.
What you look good? Do you look good on paper? You know what I'm saying? As far as like me scrolling on the joint, then it's like, all right, after we interact, then you try to figure out those things. And that's what they're looking at. But I know for us, we're probably, if we were looking for someone in this age and we were single or something like that, the first thing we was like, do she have Instagram? If she does, I don't even want her.
You don't want if she got Instagram, but you gonna check that page though.
I mean, check
You
the
gonna
page.
check that Instagram
But
page.
if it's wild,
Yeah.
and it's got a lot of dudes up under, it's like, yeah, baby, you beautiful type stuff. Nah, I'm straight.
I don't really care about that because dudes gonna comment in the comments no matter what. But it's about what's being posted.
Big facts.
And people be saying social media not real. People
Right.
people love to say that when they doing foolishness online. They like
Mhm.
social media not real. This fake. This just. So there's a real element to it.
What I'm
because
saying
you,
is
because
if
of what
I-
you choosing to display on that page. You
if I-
choosing what
yeah.
you want to put out there.
Mhm.
If I even had to go down that checklist of factors, I'm good off
But that's
that.
important though.
What's important?
Checking that social
No,
media page.
I'm talking. No, actually, it's not. Because
It
if,
is.
if I have the gumption to feel like I need to check, I'm good.
You
off
should be
that.
doing that on anybody
off
at
that.
this day and age.
I'm
in
good off
the
that.
in the year of our Lord 2024.
I'm good off.
You
that.
better be checking that social media.
I'm
page.
good off that.
You better
I'm
be.
good off that.
Now, I will say this. You do. social media is good because you get to see, you know, where they've been, what they've been doing, all that type of stuff. You can check for some of those valuable things. But a person who has minimal on their social media, for me, that would make me be like, ooh, this is mysterious. Let me find out a little bit more about it. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm being dead serious. I'm talking about me being at my age right now. But back in the day, is like, you know, who is showing the most skin type thing.
I got you. So we know where Mel stands with Draya and Jalen. I wish.
I just think that y'all victim blaming.
Nobody's victim blaming anybody.
Y'all do be victim blaming.
He would not say he would not call himself a victim.
Of course, he wouldn't call himself a victim. He's 22 years old with a bunch of millions and he's smashing Draya Michelle.
So now
he don't think he a victim.
No, what I'm
just
saying
because
is,
you don't think that you are something don't mean you're not.
Now you justifying certain behaviors because of age.
I'm not justifying certain
You are though.
I'm
You
not
said
justifying
he's not.
He
wise
would not
enough
consider himself that.
Would not
Because of the
situation
choice that if you ask him, he wouldn't consider himself a victim. He don't consider himself a victim.
What I'm saying is, the only reason that you're saying he's a victim is because of who she is and the status that he has, right?
Who she is, the status that he has, and the age gap.
So what I'm saying is, how does that make him a victim if he's making a conscious decision to be with said individual?
Do you know anybody that's ever made a decision based off of information that someone gave them and the information was not factual?
Sure.
Did they make the decision?
Absolutely, for themselves.
Were they tricked or manipulated into something?
No, I can't speak.
Were they tricked or manipulated into something?
I have
no idea. If I tell you lies to get you to do something, were you tricked or manipulated, my nigga?
You act like you know them personally. What lies is she
telling? If I tell you that, this is a general conversation, my nigga.
And that's the thing.
This is a general conversation. You're focusing right now on.
You're generalizing some things too, though.
Because you have to, because that is general. This is a general conversation.
You generalizing a whole slew of things because of a few factors when we don't know these people.
And that's it. So here's the thing.
This is why the world gonna stay messed up.
No,
Y'all want to know why the world gonna stay messed up? That viewpoint, thought, and opinion that this, and he co-signing it at 1A and 1B over here.
I am not co-signing. What I am going to say is
1A and 1B over here.
I think it's a both and. Because yes, we have seen this happen before. We've seen this dance happen before. However, we don't know these people.
We don't know these people.
So we have to let time play out. And if time plays out and it shows to be true, then you were still right. I think you're still right generally, as we said before. But we, on the surface right now, we just for instance, Anthony Edwards, right? That whole text message thread came out about him, the player for the Timberwolves. The whole text message thread came out about him and about his baby mom talking about, you know, she was supposed to get rid of the baby. Mm-hmm. Well, what happened? Couple months later, he left the game to go celebrate the birth of his baby. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So when information first comes out, we had choice words for that whole situation at that time, but he followed through, had the baby, and you had to let time play out to see exactly what was going to happen.
I don't know if those are the same women. I don't know. I really don't know if those are the same two women. I think those are two different situations.
That's a valid point. Let me see real quick.
All I'm saying is y'all putting more responsibility on a 22-year-old than y'all are putting on a 40-year-old experienced individual who's messing with a 22-year-old. That's all I'm telling y'all.
So your issue is just with the age.
Y'all blaming him and saying that he's old enough, it's his whatever, and y'all putting all the weight on him. Like again, because I said y'all don't view him as a victim.
What weight are we putting on him, man?
Y'all putting all the weight and responsibility situation on him.
How?
Because y'all believe he's old enough to make. Technically, he's old enough to make his own decisions, but y'all feel like because he's 22, he's a grown man. Whatever. Let me ask you no acknowledgement to the fact that this woman is 40 years old.
Okay.
With a child that's almost the same age as her boyfriend.
What they got to do with anything? I'm legit asking. What weight are we putting on him?
No, it's wild.
What weight are we putting on him?
The weight of saying that she can't be this because he's old enough to make his own decisions.
Nobody is saying that.
That's what you're saying. When I say she's a predator and he's a victim and you say he can't be it because he's old enough to make his own decisions.
He is old enough
to make
blaming.
Victim blaming. We put names on it. Victim blaming.
He is old enough to make his decisions. Mm-hmm. Right? You agree with that? Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is, if it was any other 40-year-old in the world, you wouldn't care. The only reason why
I wouldn't care.
Why? Because you said yourself that you dated up. So what's the problem?
I didn't date 20 years up, and I wasn't 22 years old dating a 42-year-old.
So what?
A 40-year-old.
How old? How much older?
Like 2 years older than me.
That don't even count.
It do count because they're older.
So how did you make a conscious decision to date them 2 years older? And you was
it wasn't a conscious decision to choose 2 years older.
Were you a victim?
Because of how
were you a victim?
2 years is a close enough age gap for us to be on a similar wavelength in a similar situation.
So what I'm saying is, if you look at her
20 years,
if you look at her lifestyle, etc., they could easily be on the same wave
financially. Yeah,
even if what they do from a social standpoint and how they be out. I mean, like as you mentioned, she's a Instagram model, etc. Mm-hmm. All that's about staying relevant. Okay. So age, what I mean, what are we saying?
Okay. So, there are several situations, not just her, and I'm using her because that's the news and the topic. There's a handful just in the last 2 years of 30-year-old women dating under 30 athletes, having babies with them, and we all sitting around here acting like there's nothing coincidental about it. There's no plan, there's no process. It's not strategic. It just so happens. We so in love. You so sexy. It's not a plan. It's not strategy. I'm not setting up. I'm not creating a path for this opportunity for myself for some type of reason so that we act like that doesn't exist.
No,
we acting like that's not real. That's not true.
I'm not saying it doesn't
exist.
Okay,
then. So what the hell are we talking about?
What I'm saying is
people get tricked and played all the time.
What you're generalizing an entire situation.
It's not a situation because we see the situation over and over and over and over and over again. This is not an isolated incident. I would understand what you were saying if this was an isolated incident. This is not isolated and it's not unique because we see it all the time.
If you look at NFL, NBA, etc., I guarantee these situations are outliers compared that are with their actual baby moms, wives, etc. That's not like this. I guarantee the data will tell us that this is an outlier.
It is an outlier because there aren't that many superstars.
There's plenty of superstars.
There's not plenty of superstars.
There's plenty of superstars. We just had an all-star game with at least 20 superstars.
20.
And
that's 20 males.
That's 20 people. Actually, hold on. 25 on the court. Yeah. Okay. So we say about 20, right? So it's 20. In the NBA, there's roughly what? If there's 29 teams and each team has...
It's like 84 players in the league that's on an active roster.
Okay, so that what's that? 20 divided by 80 is what?
Just round the number. 30 superstars in the NBA. 30. Just say 30.
All right, yeah, because some people did get snubbed.
Just say 30.
And he's not a superstar.
Just say general 30.
So how many of those 30 superstars have you heard having these kind of issues?
As 3.
How many of them are 22?
That's 37%.
How many of them are 22?
37% of all athletes are superstars.
How many of them are 22? You telling me Jalen Green not a superstar?
No, he's not a superstar. He's still on a rookie deal. He's not. Just
because you're on a rookie deal don't mean you're not a superstar in the eyes of the NBA.
2-3 years, he's not a superstar.
This on SportsCenter just as much as
he's not a superstar.
Right now, Lace.
Okay.
He's not a superstar
because you're equating superstar to AD, Bron, KD, and Steph.
He's not a superstar.
This is a superstar.
He's not a superstar, my guy.
Is Anthony Edwards a superstar?
You named him.
Anthony Edwards is definitely.
Is Zion Williams a superstar?
Absolutely.
Jalen Green not in that group to
Absolutely not. No.
What makes Jalen Green not a superstar?
Because
he's about to be a 300 max. So he's gonna be a superstar.
First of all, NBA, they giving out NBA money like
everybody get a 300 max.
Everybody
not get a 300 max.
Pretty much.
Everybody not get a 300 max.
What I'm saying is NBA money, they giving that out these days. Period. We won't have to talk basketball because you already know. Well, we don't want to do that. He's not a superstar. Anybody can attest to that.
Okay. He ain't a superstar.
No.
All right.
The Rockets won 5 games.
That don't mean nothing. The Rockets won 10 games when James Harden was there, and he a superstar. They ain't got nobody else on the damn team.
See, I said I wasn't gonna say no cuss words, and you pushing me.
They ain't got nobody else on the team.
Well, listen, let me see if I can calm it down. So, because it's another topic I want to talk about.
Fine. He's not a superstar.
Okay.
And he's not a victim. I want everybody to know he's not a victim.
Victim blaming.
He's not a victim.
Okay,
he made a conscious decision.
He ain't a victim, but Draya damn sure a predator.
Can I have one word? Because y'all been talking for the past like 30 minutes. If I can say one thing, I think there is a swarm of a type of person who swarms around the NBA and is just looking for an opportunity, and that happens on a regular basis.
I understand that.
And people are looking for opportunities to no longer be an IG model that has their bed that connects to the floor, doesn't even have a bed railing or anything like that, and trying to get out their mama's house and quit taking these photos so they could be, they want to have the baby, I'm about to have a baby photos and stuff like. I think there is a population of people like that. Okay. And on the flip side, there are a group of men who are looking for that.
Sure.
They are looking for that.
Or there are two groups of people who are looking to have fun, and fun turns into this.
That is true because that is true because a lot of these I don't want to put all the blame on her. Because I do believe there are some guys who are just looking for casual. Dr. Umar said casual sex. He was talking good about that. He got some good points every once in a while, but he was talking about how we have to get away from casual sex because it leads to catastrophes of situations. And I think this is potentially
could be. Let's keep an eye on it. We'll have to monitor it. We'll watch the data.
Ain't nothing to monitor.
It's
gonna fall apart. They ain't gonna be married. Child support bag gonna get ran
Who
up.
Said they was gonna get married?
I'm just saying it's not gonna work out.
This how I know Mel a conservative.
It's not gonna work out.
Conservative.
No.
It's not gonna work out.
I'm with Mel on this one.
We talking about keep an eye on. We know this story. They're gonna break up soon after that baby born. Child support bag gonna be up. Gonna be on to something else, and we gonna see about on the shade room, all that other type of stuff. Okay. When that child support thing, we know where this is going.
Actually,
what's there to talk about?
I think it's gonna be a little bit different. The baby gonna come out. She gonna have a book deal. She gonna have a TV show. She gonna be on one of the new. She gonna be a producer of one of them reality shows and stuff like that. And she gonna have her Kim K career. That's what I think is gonna happen.
I think she already has a very legitimate career. I'm
absolutely.
not knocking her career. I'm not knocking her career. And people gonna say that just because she's already set up, she already had bread or whatever, she can't be a predator. She can't be predatory, and that's a lie. Do she got her own bag situation? Do she got her swimsuit thing popping? Absolutely. Do she have a certain bag? Does she have this experience? Absolutely. And that's my argument against this situation. She's established. She's experienced. She got all this stuff going for herself that she knows. She know how to finagle the system. Could he have pursued her? Absolutely. Do young niggas shoot at IG models all the time? Absolutely. Do young niggas shoot at people that they think are in the limelight and would just be nice to add to their belt? Absolutely. At 40 years old, should you be able to gatekeep yourself away from something like that, or to not mingle with a 22-year-old when you know that you're 20 years their senior, et cetera, and then put yourself in a situation where having a child with them? Come on, bro. What are we talking about? What are we talking about, my nigga?
That's your perspective. I appreciate it. Thank you for the diversity of thought.
Well, listen. When I said diversity of thought last time, I got my neck chopped at. All right, so we talking about in the same vein of talking about relationships and stuff like that. Just recently, Mike Epps was on the Get Smoke podcast with
Stacks and Matt Barnes.
Yes, And on the show, I watched the whole episode. On the show, he talks about how he has a baby mama, he has girls, he has, his mom passed away, and his influence, the influence of his mom's life on him, and how this, his projection and stuff like that. And then at one point of the conversation, he says, that's one thing I want to do when I in life. I want to know how to treat a woman right. I want to know for my daughters, for my mom, I don't want to cheat on nobody, all this type of stuff, blah, 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 right? I want to treat a woman right. Well, that clip came out and people jumped on his head and was like, hey, bro, you got a whole wife. Why would you say something like that in this conversation? And I was like, and so people were mad because he said he wanted to treat a woman right, not cheat, and he got a wife right now. And so he was made, or he put out an apology, said, hey, I honor my wife, and so on and so forth the following day. When I heard him say, I want to learn how to I want to do better, I was like, yeah, that's what's up. And kept on scrolling. But people were up in arms with him because he said, I want to treat women better. I was actually in a whole, I think you guys would be proud of me. I think y'all would be proud of me because, specifically you, Mel, I think you'd be proud of me because I stood on business. And I was like, when I hear a man say he want to do better, regardless of where he is in life, let's celebrate that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Let's not be like, oh, you got a wife. Why would you say? Maybe he has stopped and he's still trying to find different crevices of his life to treat his wife better, or the women in his life. Right. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think some people were thinking that he was referring to treating women outside of his wife better. But I was like, hey, he already mentioned he got multiple daughters. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He got baby mamas.
Mhm.
Maybe he wants to treat them better in addition to his wife. It's not just he want to treat side women better. He just wants to be better in his life. And I think that was unfair that people came at Mike Epps like that.
Well, I think the only reason that statement got so much weight is because he does currently have a wife. And I think that is where people are going. Not necessarily the side woman thing, but it's like, how you aspiring to treat women better and you got one already? So are you treating that one bad currently and you want to do better? I think that's the context in which people receive that message, because he's saying it as if it's something that he's not doing right now that he wants to do in the future. So how do you want to, finally learn how to treat a woman right and you already got a wife? So I guess in their mind, they're like, you should already be doing that. Or you should have been doing, you know what I'm saying? Like, you should have been doing that. That's the tone. But, some people just want to have some fun. And then it turned in, to this. So,
Fact.
You a petty.
He's definitely petty. And I caught that, but I'm going to let it ride.
Sometimes it be like that.
What I was going to say is that most people, in the world that we live in, most people have a pessimistic view. They view things from a negative lens. What he said was not wrong. I want to treat XYZ better. That's like, believers saying, I want to treat everybody right.
Yeah.
Or show the love of Christ. Or
I don't want to be sarcastic. And I mess up.
Whatever.
Be sarcastic.
That's just owning the fact that I've done some things that I potentially could have done differently. And I just want to be better at treating individuals in my life a particular way or whatever. Like that shouldn't be a thing that we're really even talking about. Yes, he has a wife. Yes, he treats her a certain way or whatever. But again, she could be wanting to be treated one way. He just be talking about, I want to treat my granddaughters appropriately. I want to have a better relationship with my daughters or whatever the case may be. But ultimately, people always tend to take a soundbite and create a perception around that soundbite. It's like, oh, you doing this or you're doing that. No, you don't know the intent from that man's heart from what he was saying, what he was saying. So why even coming from a pessimistic mindset? Why can't we be, okay, well, that's great. How can I be optimistic and showcase how can I help you get there? Or what are you looking to do to expand upon this instead of jumping to a conclusion based upon the minimal viewpoint that we have? And I think it's ridiculous, but it's the world that we live in, and that's just what it is.
Exactly. Because the reason why I got upset, because I'm like, bro, every day I'm trying to find a way that I can treat my wife better.
If you're not getting better, what are you doing?
Exactly.
You saying I want to get better I want to find other ways to treat my wife better or grow in treating my wife better is totally different than saying I want to finally get to a point where I treat a woman right. Those are two totally different statements.
I understand they're two different statements.
So, because the statements that are being made gives the context. So what I'm saying is you're like, people have a pessimistic view, or people need to learn how to better articulate their thoughts. And then the sound bites, sound bites are going to be a thing no matter what.
For sure.
But
what I'm saying is he said, I want to learn to treat women.
He
said a woman, as in my woman.
I thought he said women.
As in my woman. And he was saying in the sense of, I had a daughter as karma because I never treat women right. I only have daughters because that's my karma for never treating women right.
If anybody should have been mad,
I want to get to a point where I finally learn how to treat a woman right. And that is the statement that is the statement that he made. So that's why everyone went in the direction that they went. He didn't say,
but at the end of the day,
I'm growing in this marriage. I'm growing as a man. And I'm always looking for new ways.
He did not say that. You right.
My wife better.
I get that. What I'm saying is treat a woman right. What I'm saying is that's an evolution within itself, right or wrong. You and others have gotten in relationships. We thought we knew that individual. We didn't treat them right, and we had to learn to treat them right. Or it's either it evolved or it dissolved. So at the end of the day, what he's still saying is not wrong. Just because he got it don't mean that he can't do better at treating better or right.
I didn't say that.
I'm not saying that you did, but I'm going off of the statement as far as how people responded to it. Yes, a lot of people have gotten things and didn't treat it right. You got to learn how to massage the situation or make changes, rectify, etc. So what I'm saying is what he said, even whether he said women plural or woman, it still doesn't negate his journey of wanting to do better.
No, it don't.
And if anybody should have been mad, it should have been his daughters when he said that statement. I keep having daughters. Well, ain't I your kid? You know what I'm saying? He said having daughters was a punishment. If anybody should have been upset, it should have been his. He said, my mama died, and on the same day she died, I had a son. My mama blessed me. I was like, if I was one of the daughters, I was like, so what am I? Am I a curse?
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's the people that should have been mad in the whole situation, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah. So I understand, like I said, people will create a perception around or have a response to. But I mean, at the end of the day, he could still want to do better in his situation.
I didn't say he do. I didn't say he couldn't want to do
I'm
better.
not saying you. I don't speak in generals like you do. I'm
Sometimes
not saying
you.
you.
Sometimes
I'm not saying you.
And Lace likes to say he don't speak in generals, but let's just be honest. You have to speak in generals in certain terms because you can't speak for every situation that happens, and there's always going to be outliers to every conversation that we have. So you have to speak in generalizations.
What I'm saying is in this instance, I'm not.
The 7, 8 out of 10 are going to be the experience, but there's always going to be the 1 or 2.
Right, but the experience can be wrong. The experience can be wrong.
What do you mean the experience?
One's experience can be wrong and based on a false reality.
And that's why I'm speaking generalizations and not specific.
Right. So what I'm saying by generalizing all of that based upon one's sole experience does not generalize
because
everybody
the vast
else.
majority of everyone else's experience, that one person that you're talking about is the outlier, and the general experience is the other people. My nigga.
I don't ride with the general experience. Okay. I like to go against the grain.
Niggas, not as okay.
Well, guys, we are at time.
Lays don't do that. I don't do thoughts. I don't do opinions. I don't do generalizations. I don't do that.
Obviously, everybody has. Everybody has an opinion.
What do you do, Lace?
Everybody has thoughts. Thoughts and opinions they're free. What I'm saying is when you bring your thoughts and opinions into making a generalization about a whole group or about a whole thing, that's where I have a problem because your thought and opinion is not ultimately the only or the correct.
You do have to give opportunity for something to play out.
Absolutely.
You do,
and that's what we don't do as a people very well.
However, because of general of based upon the statistics of things that we've seen, experienced, and witnessed, we can say the general things that, like my man was saying.
In some instances,
I hope you know
most of life is generalization. People are not so unique that all these things are just outlying individualized specific situations. People are more alike than they are different.
I would disagree.
People and humans are very homogenous.
I understand that. I'm not saying that we're not. We are homogenous.
So
people,
to sit there and consistently say, "Oh, this is not always right," or that. What about this? What about that? Is generalizations. Most of our society is based on generalizations,
and that's a part of the problem. That's what I'm saying. That's what
you're
I'm saying.
That's
it's
a problem, but their general experience and general actions.
I am uniquely made. My experience is vastly different from a lot of people.
It's not vastly different. You like to believe that it's vastly different, and it's not much different than the next person.
Some things intersect. But a lot of it is vastly different.
It's not vastly different. You want it to be you just because you say it's vastly different don't mean that it's vastly different.
It is. Just like you in the aspect of what makes you unique in your upbringing is vastly different.
We have a few things that make us unique, but it's not so much vastly different from the next man,
and
bro.
Guess what? That's your opinion. And you're
that's the truth.
You're entitled to have it.
Late, that is the truth.
Okay. If that's what you if that's your
Lace,
truth.
That is the truth.
If that's your truth. If that's your truth, ride with it.
There would be no progress. There'd be no connection. There'd be no community. There'd be none of these things if all of us were so vastly unique and different. We'd have nothing in common. We have nothing to bond over. We have no path forward because all of us would be so vastly uniquely different.
We can have commonality and still be vastly different.
So better articulate yourself there so we can get through this conversation.
I literally just said that. I said that we have things that intersect. That would be commonality.
But then you're trying to say, but I'm so much vastly different than everything and everybody else that
what I'm saying is a lot of our hear me out. What I said was a lot of our experiences, what makes us is vastly different. We may have things that intersect, which would equal commonality, but our experiences, what makes us, what makes us unique is vastly different. That is what I'm saying. You're saying that we're not that unique. We ain't got all this rah stuff. That's not what I'm saying.
That wasn't necessary, Mace. That wasn't.
I'm saying that we.
Listen, Mel.
We are not so much different. We're not as much different as you are displaying. That's all I'm just saying.
If that's what you believe,
that's why we're so general. That's why most things are spoken in generalizations.
Right.
You're saying our experience, all of our experiences are so different. When if you really sit back and look at it, and we could bring data, facts, and statistics because you don't want to talk about thoughts and opinions. Most of those will show. That our experiences are very similar across the board. Most of us have lived in a similar situation. We have three different upbringings, but a lot of our childhood experiences are exactly the same, and we grew up in three different spaces.
They're very similar.
Are there nuances to our situations? Yes, but most of our experiences are the same because we grew up in a black household with black parents, and we lived a black experience. Our situations are not so vastly different and unique.
There's a lot of nuance even in the black experience. And those are the things that I'm saying which makes us unique and different that would also tailor our growing up or upbringing to promote difference. That's what I'm saying. Yes, we grew up in a overarchingly in a black household. We all grew up in a black. We black. You black.
I'm black.
I'm black. You
Right.
black. We all grew up in a black household. But even in that, from a religious standpoint, from a expectation standpoint, when it comes to education, access, resources, all those things, vastly different. Are there commonalities in which they intersect? Absolutely. What I'm saying is what makes it unique and valuable to us is that they were still different and nuanced. So yes, culturally from an umbrella, yes, we grew up in a black household. We had parents who tried their best to do X, Y, Z, et cetera, et cetera. But there are also so many nuance even within that would promote difference. And that's what I'm saying.
I never disagree with the difference. I'm just saying that we're not so much different, that we're so vastly unique that there's nothing else that can tie us together based on generalization. That was the basis of this conversation.
So. Okay.
You were saying that generalizations cannot be used because there's so much uniqueness.
I said
that it's not valid. And I'm telling you that we are more alike than we are different. And that is why generalizations are commonly true. Because we fall in that umbrella.
But that's also...
That's all I'm saying. I didn't disagree with the differences and the nuances of the situation, the access and the resources and everything else that we had going on.
That's unnecessary.
I'm saying...
That's unnecessary. If I'm going to call Lace out, I'm going to call you out too. That's unnecessary.
All I was saying is that we as people are not as much different than we like to project and say. Oh, do we have some uniqueness?
Disagree and say
do we each
we
have
are.
certain gifts and talents that we bring to the table of society to help us fit together? Absolutely. But are we more alike than we are different? Absolutely, we are more alike than we are different.
And I would.
That's just proven. You saying that's my opinion?
I would yield to disagree.
That's my opinion?
I would yield to disagree.
And that's our opinion from the Manly D's podcast. It's your boy T. Roy. We out.